Alright, so I got another interesting game. I got the High Elves led by a princess on a Star Dragon, and we're up against the Warriors of Chaos led by Kolek. So what I got in the front line here is I got White Lions because I brought them immediately because I thought, going up against Chaos, you're going to need some armor piercing, and they're relatively cost effective, I think, for the cost. They're quite good. I got some Spearmen, just a single unit Spearmen to deal with any anti-large options they got. And then I got 3 units of Loth and Seaguard in the back here, and I really like these Loth and Seaguard because they got the shields, they got the bows, and they've got spears, so they can pretty much deal with anything that they can throw at them. And I always bring the shields on these ones because I was worried that they was going to bring Chaos, what are they called, Marauder Horsemen, and just like start throwing axes into you. But they didn't end up by bringing them. But still, they I think they get bonus defense with the shields anyway. And so I got a mage of the light wind of magic, so I just stripped her down to most things. Didn't got a banishment, I got a Ned Talk, and I've just got the two power buff abilities. On the right here, I've got some Sword Masters of Hoth, and I just put them in the forest here because I was kind of concerned that they're going to have a Hell Cannon and just focus them down or something at the start. Then I've got some Silver Helms, and I've got a Tyrannok Chariot in the side here. I don't know why, I just like bringing the ranged chariot, which is the Tyrannok one. And I usually just send it into melee, and then it's just still, the Archer Fire still just trolls around. And it seems to do a lot of damage because it's got, 124 missile strength. And that's not 3 shots per volley. That doesn't read quite right. Maybe I'm misreading it. It doesn't seem to add up to 124. Yeah, and then I've got the Princess and the Star Dragon, of course. And so my opponent, they have couple units of Chaos Marauders, but then they got this big meaty line of Forsaken. I've never really gone up against Forsaken before, but I thought, they seem to be a pretty elite unit, so he's definitely got like very small numbers, but like heaps of elite troops, and he's got double Manticore with Chaos Sorceress and Sorcerer of Shadows and an Exalted Hero. And of course he's got some aspiring champions here, Kolek himself, and some Dragon Ogres. So pretty much to start off with this match, I realized that I was looking at his army, I was pretty frightened about those Forsaken because I'd never really gone up against them before in campaign battles. It's actually a really quick battle because I guess going up against Chaos, they've got to go all in. But I do have the ranged advantage, of course, against Chaos. So as soon as we start here, he's going to start having to push up on me, which is great. I like that. And so I'm going to put my Archer Fire and start concentrating on these Forsaken in the middle here. How many of them are there? There's 60 in the group. Wow. Wow, they've got a lot of melee attack. 40 melee attack. That's quite good. Actually, that's about the same as the White Lions, but that's with Martial Prowess active. I don't know. Someone will have to tell me how they match up against Forsaken because I'm not really sure. But yeah, I cast a Net of Emmentalk in the middle here, and I'm just going to keep pouring on that Archer Fire, which is going to do a real number. So I don't even have shield, so it's going to be excellent. Start moving my Sword Masters out of the forest here. And look, Kolek's coming straight up the middle, going straight for those White Lions. I start pulling back a bit. Going to get my White Lions to start engaging this group of Forsaken here. Get these, I don't know what goes on with these Sword Masters. They go off in like a weird formation over here. Yeah, so getting my White Lions here. Oh, they got the Dragons. Who's coming in? It's just going to be tough. I got the Spearmen there, of course. And I'm still concentrating fire on like particular units of Forsaken because I want to focus them down. And the Chariot's shooting into. It's already got 1 kill, I assume, against the Forsaken, which is quite good. I think it does. I think it is pretty decent. I don't know how it like fares, but yeah, of course, Kolek's just going to run through my lines there, and I'm going to start concentrating Archer Fire on him. So I got them split into like 3 different groups here, so that way they can't be tied down into. They can't really be tied down at all. Those White Lions aren't going to fare pretty well, but at least the Archer Fire is going to help. And they're casting a spell there. I think it's Lord of the Storm. So what they're going to do is they're going to send their Sorcerer and their Exalted Hero to try and gank down my Commander, but she's on a Star Dragon, so she's not going to go down easy. She's not going to be a pushover. And yeah, the Lord of the Storm's going down on my Loth and Seaguard there. And yeah, these Sword Masters, I don't know what they did. They went over here and they're just like looking away, like admiring the view there. And there's just a couple of them fighting those Chaos Marauders, but those Chaos Marauders really don't have a chance against the Sword Masters. And I imagine those Dragon Ogres are going to run through those White Lines quite promptly. And so my Chariot's coming out here. Yeah, moving those Loth and Seaguard away from those Marauders. My commander's doing quite well. He's already got that sorcerer down to half health there. So they're pushing up the middle here of this gap that Kolek created, and he's trying to gank down my Loth and Seagull. There they cast in a Pit of Shades onto my units, but it really doesn't seem to do a lot of damage. I'm not really sure how Pit of Shades works exactly, but no, it really doesn't do a whole lot of damage, which is fortunate for me. Maybe you have to use the overcast version. So yeah, I'm moving my archers back here because I don't want to get tied down by those marauders. I'm going to be shooting on Kolek as much as I can, and then pushing some more Forsaken in here to fight my white lions. And yeah, my commander's doing quite well against those double goon squad there. What are they doing here? They're coming in not for a recharge. Yeah, he's going straight for my sorcerer here, and I do a really poor job of keeping her alive there. She's gonna get run down by Kolek. She doesn't even have a chance. I should have pulled her back a bit better. I do try and cast the Net of Emmentok here I tried to cast it on Kolek, but it's getting a little bit of lag. Ended up by clicking and casting it over here, which isn't the best, but at least it ties down this group of marauders here, as you'll see. This Star Dragon is just a monster. Look at it, it's just annihilating those two. I sent my cav out here, and I've got my Tyrannok chariot cycle charging. Here we got another rear charge coming into these Forsaken. These swordmasters are actually coming in to do their job now. Yeah, my hero's doing really well at taking down those guys. Kolek's going to be a beast to take down. He's just so tanky. But yeah, fortunately my archers are still up. They've got plenty of ammo. Loth and Seaguard might need to pull back, but they're taking some point-blank volleys on him, it looks like. But he's just going for my lord, so that's not a big deal. I'm getting my chariot in here to do a rear charge. That actually, whoa. Maybe that's what you do with these ones. You get them in on the side of the lines, like, where's the drawing tools on this one? Oh, I'm not sure where it is. You draw them into the side there. I don't know. That seemed to do all right. So I'm still shooting into Kolek there. I've taken away both of those guys that are retreating. They've taken my my lord down to about less than half health, but yeah, she pretty much just ruined those guys quite well. So they're pulling the Dragon Ogres in. It looks like they've run down a lot of my my cavalry there with those Dragon Ogres because they're anti-large options. And then they'll be pulling my Sword Masters into the rear of these Marauders, Aspiring Champions, and Forsaken there. And probably should be cycle charging out that Tyrannok chariot a little bit better. I think I'm going to put a Dragon Breath down there. Oh my goodness. Actually did a heap of damage to those Aspiring Champions. Got them down to half health. I think it only dropped like 2 models because they've got there's like 12 units in the model. Yeah, 12 models in the unit. So they've got some of these more Forsaken chasing off my Spearmen, which is fair. And yeah, Kolek's still just being a monster in my back lines. But over here, like my Loth and Seaguard again, they're just holding back these Dragon Ogres. And it's in the forest too, so these Dragon Ogres should get a debuff from being large units. So just holding them off with their because they got spears and they got the charge defense bonus. I'm just keeping my archers so they're constantly firing. Gonna be pulling my Star Dragon in here in a second to take out that sorceress because yeah, she's gonna get wrecked. I know I got my cav pushing into the rear of those Forsaken. That was a pretty decent charge there. Casting some spell on me. Feebling foe. Yeah, here comes my commander. She's just gonna annihilate that sorcerer. She doesn't have much of a chance. And it looks like they're pulling Kolek back to the middle here because this Swordmasters of Hoeth, they were doing nothing before, but now that they're actually pulling into the fight, they're really healthy and against all these weakened units. And their vigor is still really high. Actually, a lot of these units' vigor is still really high. But yeah, I imagine this single unit of Swordmasters can clean up those Aspiring Champions, those Forsaken, any other units they got in the middle there. They do have some Marauders, but I'm not really worried about them. And my commander's just done so well screening out those guys. And pull my archers back, start shooting into those Dragon Ogres again. Just got my cav attacking those Forsaken. I should probably be cycling charging them out soon. Yeah, and then they're going to send them for the Marauders over there. So just shooting into these guys. I think they decided to go for my White Lions. They thought they'd be a juicier target than the Spearmen, but then just allows me to shoot into them and then just send my Star Dragon in to finish them off. And then even with Kolek over here trying his best to turn the engagement around, these Swordmasters are just going to be doing a number. They're just so freaking powerful. I just love them so much. Definitely one of my favorite units as well. I got double chevrons on them. And yeah, this is going to be a nice rear charge. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think that was a frontal charge. Yeah, but those silver helms, excellent charge against those. Downhill charge too. Oh, that was glorious. Oh, almost Spearman rallied in the back there. I guess I forgot about them. Pulling my white lines back in. And this Dragon Ogres are just going to be run down. So it's pretty much just Kolek in this middle pocket of resistance in there. So I can start shooting in on Kolek again. Which is quite excellent. And I think Kolek did come in and just ruin my chariot, but that was fine. So I think they're just going to call the GG there. But it was definitely a really fun game. I was definitely really worried about his build here with all these Forsaken. I just never gone up against them before. But the White Lions seem to do pretty well. They seem to hold off pretty well. Yeah, so this Aspiring Champions, they didn't do well. I think I just roasted them with that Dragon Breath, managed to take them down to half health there, which that helped a lot. Colleague, these two trying to gank down my commander, but that Star Dragon is just so powerful. I should have done a better job of protecting my my caster there, but the net of Amentok was definitely a good choice because I was expecting like Chaos Knights or Chaos Spawn or something like that, but it seemed to do alright against the Forsaken and just let my archers to shoot in a bit more. And so my archers didn't get very many kills, but definitely did heaps of damage. I wish there was like a way to show the damage there. And they didn't have many units on the field. I don't think there's a lot of units in these squads. They definitely did their money's worth. And then these Swordmasters, I think sending them off onto that weird formation by accident actually ended up well because they still had heaps of vigor and they still managed to come in on a nice side charge there. My Silver Helms did quite well. I thought they were decent. I like to have cavalry on the field to just give you a little bit more mobility. Tyrannok Chariot did alright. I still got to work out how exactly its role in the army or how to use it, but it seems to do alright if you just cycle it in and out, and this range fire seemed to do alright. 23 kills. That's not bad. I'll probably been against the Forsaken, I would imagine, and the missile damage seems really good because they got those Reaver bows which shoot like three at a time. But yeah, that was definitely a really fun game. Super enjoyed that. Cool. GG.